I said that this multicolored robe is a bit of a mystery to us, and that's true. The phrase here is ketonet pasim, and ketonet is the word for tunic, and that im on the end of pasim means it's a plural. And so this is where we get the idea that maybe this was a patchwork garment made of many fabrics. But the problem with ketonet pasim is that it doesn't show up anywhere else in Torah, except that this term does actually show up one other place in the Bible. Now, it's in 2 Samuel, and it's a terrible story. But it says that Tamar went into mourning after this, and that she tore the ornate robe she was wearing, the ketonet pasim, for this was the kind of garment that the virgin daughters of the king wore. Now, within the biblical text, that is the only other reference that we have to make sense of this ornate robe that Joseph wears. Now, does that mean they're talking about the same thing? No. It's almost positive that the word has shifted and taken on a very specific meaning during that time. But it does seem to at least suggest that perhaps part of the problem that his brothers had with Joseph was that they thought he dressed like a girl. And if you go back and you look at the introduction of his father, Jacob, we're told that he was a soft man who stayed at the tents with his women while his brother Esau went out and hunted. And maybe part of the reason that Jacob loved Joseph so much was that he saw a bit of himself in there, the fact that he felt rejected by his father as well. And in fact, if you follow the story into Egypt, a culture with very different ideas about masculinity from what was expected in Semitic cultures, there you'll see that Joseph is welcomed and seen as a, quote, beautiful, handsome man. And don't tell me this is just a story about ancient masculinity. Because every man here in the room has at some point been conditioned by our culture to suppress their emotion and to not cry. And I still catch myself in moments about to use gendered language when I talk to my son about his larger feelings. Now, some of us don't experience gender the same way. Some of us don't experience attraction the same way, and I think part of what we might be seeing here is that Joseph just doesn't fit within the categories he was expected to.